Hey, what's going on, guys? So, it's been a little while. If you know who I am, I'm P017 or PO17, whichever you prefer to call me. I haven't made a video on a CRT TV in a little while. Uh, it's not really that I was busy, it's just that I haven't really come across very many of them since then. But this one was pretty awesome. I got this in a little bit of a trade. I had picked up, or I had sold one of my video monitors, and the person was kind enough to offer me this as part of the trade, and I accepted. I said, you know what, it's a cool little Toshiba 14-inch. As you can see here, this is a flat screen, and of course this particular monitor is called the MD14H63, and as you can clearly see, it's been scratched off here, but that's the model number. It is not a true Toshiba, however. This is an Orion set. So I've had a few Orions in the past, if you've seen some of my previous videos. I've had a couple here in my possession, whether they were a friend of mine's or mine specifically, and I did actually sell my Toshiba 20AF46. But I said, you know what, I'll take another little Orion Toshiba because I know how to work them. I've done through the service menus. I know the insides of them a little bit. This one in particular is pretty neat because it's also a DVD combo set, and as you can clearly see on the screen right now, I am using the DVD. And it looks really freaking good. I don't know exactly what video input this is running on the DVD. I couldn't tell you, but I will say the one thing it does have is composite. It does not have S-Video component, anything fancy like that. And this TV has one other interesting thing that I will be telling you about here in a bit. But to start, why don't we go over this TV? So as I mentioned, it is a 14-inch TV, flat CRT, by the way. As you can see here when I get a little bit to the side angle, you can kind of tell. But it's pretty neat. Like I said, it's an Orion-made set. It's not a true Toshiba, so in its classy Orion fashion, it is more cheaply built, but still produces a pretty decent picture if it looks nice. Came with a remote too, which is actually pretty nice and handy thing because it has all of the DVD controls down here, which controls that DVD. Of course, the player. Down here, you also have your power, your open, close, volume channel, and of course any other DVD stuff. So you can technically operate this without the remote, but I prefer the remote because you, of course, have fast forward, rewind, everything like that. Composite input in here with stereo as well as a headphone jack, and of course, 2 speakers on each side. All the way around, this is a pretty compact fit, but still has a pretty big butt. And back here, actually, you do get another composite input as well as RF coax, which is pretty neat. So you can still technically play this with all your old games. However, there is a small caveat to that. And I'll get to that in just a little bit here. One more thing to show on the back, too. So this Toshiba was actually made in 2007, so this is a late model Toshiba. But here is the caveat, I guess I'll tell you right now. So, because this is a late model set, and because digital was being introduced into the era of LCDs, everything like that, while these CRTs were being made, this CRT does not display 240p. It only will do 480i video. Now, why is that? I talked to a couple people, and they said part of the reason why may be due to the fact that the digital tuners used to get the TV signal, I guess, from like satellite, cable, anything like that. They don't do anything but 480i or higher. So I guess it was not necessary, and therefore this does not have it. So if you actually plugged in a console, like say a Super Nintendo right here, you will be outputting 480i to the TV because the TV will do it. It will say, it'll take the 240p signal and then interlace it. Which kind of sucks, to be honest with you. It's very noticeable on 2D games for sure. If you're playing something like a PS2, a GameCube, an Xbox, anything like that, it will work just fine because those output 480i, no problem. And of course, for DVDs and stuff like that, here's the kicker though. This picture is awesome. So for DVDs, considering it has a built-in DVD player, this thing actually looks surprisingly good. I am really impressed by the picture of this. I don't know if it's running S-Video, like, component or anything through this. There is no rainbowing. The text, like, especially right here, is extremely readable. And overall, the picture is just awesome. Oh, if my thing can focus. There you go. Yeah, this is a really nice set. So I took the liberty of also focusing the set in a little bit. So I actually was able to get the best picture you could possibly get out of it without doing any crazy internal tweaks like soldering, changing up anything like that. It does have one small slight issue that you can't really change, and that's chroma delay, which basically means the color slightly shifted over, but you really can't tell unless you look like stupidly close. Other than that, other thing to go through, your menu here, of course. So this is a typical Orion menu. So you have your brightness, contrast, color, tint, and sharpness settings, as well as your language and any other TV thing, and of course, if you have closed captioning, anything like that. Now, I have not tested this out if you can actually use this without a digital tuner. My whole digital tuner talk earlier, I can't really back it up on, I'll be honest with you, because I don't watch TV that much. I just play video games and watch DVDs and stuff on it. However, I will say, I actually do like this set quite a bit. As I mentioned, only 480i though, which kind of sucks, not gonna lie, because I do have a lot of consoles that play 240p. The Super Nintendo is one example, Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, some PS1 games, of course, that I have, as well as a Sega Genesis, and actually one of my favorite ones right over here, I have, well, if it'll focus, which I guess it won't. All right, there you go, a Neo Geo. It's not really hooked up right now, but, you know, whatever. So yeah, overall, this set is actually quite nice. This one has been pretty well taken care of as well, so that's why the picture looks very clean, and overall, it is just a nice set in general. Alright, so, what do I think about this set, knowing about all the things that it has, such as no 240p, just 480i, but with a DVD player, and overall, pretty decent picture quality. I personally like this set. I don't know if you can technically RGB or S-Video mod it, just because I don't do modding or anything like that, but overall, for a small 14-inch flat CRT, this thing has really good convergence, really good geometry overall. It's pretty nice. Maybe a slightly tilted picture, but honestly, I'm not going to put the effort into fixing that, especially when they glued down the yoke in the back. But overall, it's really, really nice for what it can do, and for a pretty cheap, small 14-inch set, especially one that came with a controller. I mean, come on, that's kind of cool that it came with the original remote. Overall, it's pretty nice. So would I recommend anybody this CRT? If you have a Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, PS1, anything like that, probably not. But if you play like PS2, GameCube, Wii, anything that will run 480i into this TV, it will look pretty dang good. In fact, I'll actually give you a little example of it right now. Alright, so as you can see here, I'm just booting up F-Zero GX on the GameCube. And I'm getting a little closer here just to show kind of how it looks like. Oh, there goes the picture. But yeah, as you can see, for 480i, this TV is freaking great. I absolutely love this thing in terms of its picture quality. It's actually surprisingly well, even on composite video. So, if you're running composite and you still want a pretty decent picture, this is a really good set. Of course, being Orion, they are built a little cheaper, so you do want to make sure, whenever you're picking up one of these things, that it's actually looking pretty decent. Places you want to check, of course, are the edges, making sure they're not, like, bowing inward. You want to check the edges around here as well to make sure the picture's not being squashed inward horizontally. And just any other sort of key things you want to notice, I guess the overall outside condition, if all the buttons work. If the DVD player works especially, it would kind of suck to own a DVD set if the DVD player didn't work. So, unless you don't watch DVDs, in which case, power be to you. You can just use this as a gaming set, whatever, you know. But yeah, so overall, really cool. Small little TV, like I said, that I got off a trade, off the person that I sold my video monitor to. And if you're watching this video, hello. I know you subscribed to me earlier. But yeah, so I'm reviewing your old set. And I did, like I said, make some adjustments to it and made it look pretty. So yeah, everything's pretty good with it now. It's ready to pretty much go to a new owner whenever I decide to get rid of it. But yeah, so if you like this video and you like seeing this beautiful Toshiba I completely forgot what the model name and number already is. Give me 1 second. Oh, the MD14H63, my bad. Then give it a like. If you have one of these sets, tell me how it does, how much you like it, or dislike it, one of the two. If you've noticed anything about the 480i picture, especially if you're playing 2D games, anything like that. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Stay tuned. Hopefully I'll start posting more. I might start doing small short videos of, say, like stuff like this, or stuff like my big JVC, just showing video games being played on it and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to show off the Neo Geo playing on a Sony PVM, or not a PVM, a GVM. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. I'll see you all in the next video.